What's going on, everybody? If you have been on here, haven't been on one of my lives before, whoops, let me get the mic. If you haven't been on one of my lives before, I go live every single Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. Uh, if you guys want to call in, as you guys about to see, I do have people to call in, but we love talking boxing here, and I would love for you to watch this live as opposed to watching it afterwards. But yeah, so today let's talk about Keith Thurman announcing that this his fight with Mario Barrios is a WBC eliminator. You know, this is a very interesting situation that's going on in the welterweight division. Also, Gary Russell Jr. has announced that he has an injury, a lingering injury going into his fight with Maxillo. And yeah, that's I find that real interesting. Usually fighters don't announce that they have an injury until afterwards. It's very rare you hear somebody you'll hear somebody say, "Oh, I have an injury," before going into the fight. Because the commission could be like, "You have an injury? What? Where? How bad is the injury? Let's examine this." So a lot of people like to keep these injuries quiet, and then after the fight go, all right, I beat the guy, but I beat the guy with a bad shoulder, or I lost, but I lost because I have a bad shoulder. I mean, some people could look at it as, Gary Russell's hedging his excuse for when he loses. There's people who think like that, like, oh, Gary Russell just saying that so when Maxayo beats him, he could blame this. But if he's saying it before, I don't see why he would be lying about it. But I do find it interesting. I do find it interesting that he would say that right away. Uh, I predict Gary wins something like 117, 111. Have no interest in one-time Thurman fight. Oh, that's interesting. I mean, I have the fight's not a bad fight. The fight Barrios versus Keith Thurman. I don't see why people have a problem with that fight. That's a decent fight. I like the fight. Is two guys coming off losses. Barrios is saying that him moving up in weight is going to make him stronger and faster, lighter on his feet. He was having trouble making 140. And Keith Thurman's talking that shit. He's saying he's as better as good as ever, and that he's been training real hard, that he's been sparring, and that he's working on his explosiveness. I saw an interview where he was speaking how he's been working real hard on being explosive, how transferring from not punching to punching as fast as possible is something he's been working on. And he seems real motivated. But to be fair, Keith Thurman is a good talker. He's always been a good talker. He's never been, a person who, has been shy for words. He's definitely somebody who right away is quick on his feet. So this could be all cap, could be all like just him talking shit and to sell the pay-per-view, but it could be the truth. It could be the truth. It could be that this 31-month layoff has allowed him to heal from every single lingering injury he's had. And then on top of that, it could be like not only is he feeling better with his injuries, he's also feeling better as far as competitive wise. Now that the landscape has cleared out a bit, it looks like it's only going to be two welterweight kings, whether they fight each other or not. After he beats Barrios in April, we got Ugas versus Spence. We'll figure out who's going to have 3 belts there. And Bud has one of the belts. So there'll be only one of 2 routes of where he can go for welterweight supremacy. So this is an important fight as to seeing where he is after he comes back from his long layoff. I like the fight. I just don't like that it's on pay-per-view. I hate the fact that it's on pay-per-view. It's a WBC Eliminator. I'll wait until more people come on so I could discuss that as to how and why he became a WBC this became a WBC elimination fight. But it's interesting that Mauricio Suleiman sees it fit to make this an elimination fight when Keith Thurman is not only coming off a loss, he's coming off a 31-month layoff, and Mario Barrios is also coming off a loss and never held the WBC title. He was a WBA regular champion at 140 and got knocked out by a lightweight. So how is he now in the title eliminator in the welterweight division? It's bananas. But again, I'm waiting for more people to hop on the live for me to discuss this. As well as I want to talk about Gary Russell claiming he has an injury going into the fight. This is something he claims right now. Let me see if I can find the article so I can screen share it for y'all. Because it's a crazy situation. Oh, there we go. Very rare you hear people announce that they have an injury going into the fight. And I'll talk about this again later because I don't have much people on the live, but you know, I want to, for the people who are here, the people who did come on time, I'm gonna put, you know, inform y'all now. Y'all gonna get the exclusive. So, well, not the exclusive. You know what I mean. Gary Russell says, I have a slight injury. Won't elaborate until after Maxillo fight. And there's something here where I want to, a quote where I want to read for you guys. All right, so here. The long reigning WBC featherweight champion revealed during an appearance Wednesday on the DAZN boxing show that he is suffering from a slight injury that he declined to disclose. Russell will end almost a 2-year layoff on Saturday night and already has dealt with the foot amputation that has prevented his father, who is his long-time trainer, from properly helping him prepare for this fight. Excuse me, guys. I think I need glasses, man. Anyways, that's besides the point. Russell revealed last week that he essentially has trained himself for his mandated defense versus Philippines Maxillo on Saturday night in Atlantic City, New Jersey. His injury revelation was somewhat surprising because boxers typically don't divulge such information in the days leading up to the fight. So not only is he not training, is he not being trained, right? He's not being trained by his father because his father, unfortunately, had his foot amputated. I believe he suffers from diabetes. If I'm wrong, excuse me, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. He got his foot amputated. His father was also his trainer. So not only are you dealing with that emotionally from your father, if your father just lost his foot, I'm sure that's going to somehow bother you mentally. It's also going to bother you physically because that's your trainer. And now he's talking about how he's basically training himself. He's coming off a 2-year layoff, and now he's going into this fight with an injury. I don't know, man. Like, this has all the recipe for an upset. All the recipe for an upset. And the odds right now, they favoring Gary Russell heavy. And I'm not sure it should be that way. I think I'm gonna throw some money on Maxillo. I am. Maxillo's not a bum. Has he ever been stopped? Let me see, because that might change my. I don't think he's ever been stopped. Let me see. Mark Maxillo. He's undefeated. I could have sworn he lost. Oh shit. So he's facing an undefeated fighter who's 26 years old and last fought in August. So he's somewhat fresh, you know, and you coming off a 2-year layoff, you in your 30s, your father, who's your trainer, got his foot amputated. You know, he's no longer training you, and you basically training yourself. And then on top of that, you have an injury going into this fight. I don't know, man. Like, I'm gonna throw some money on Maxillo, to be honest with you. I really am. Gary is probably my second favorite fighter after Lomachenko. Plus, I'm not wasting a beautiful afternoon here to watch one-time Thurman fight a dude who got knocked out by 5'1" Gervonta. Gervonta's not 5'1", but I see your point. And no, but that's unfair because that's a good comeback fight. You got to take into consideration. Yo, Keith Thurman is going off 31-month layoff. Would you want to come back and fight Crawford, bro? Like, that's not fair. Like, this is a tune-up. This is a tune-up. And it's not such a mismatched tune-up where I'm like, whoa, you know, this is an insane mismatch. Why the hell would this fight be sanctioned. It's not one of those fights. This is a decent fight for both of us. This will let us know is Keith Thurman done? Is he done? Is he not no longer a top welterweight? This will let us know that. Or is Mario Barrios that dude? Was he really suffering from the 140-pound limit? Moving up in weight, that made him feel good. And now he knocked out Keith Thurman, who, didn't look himself. And now he wants to be a player in this game. And this is now for a WBC Eliminator. It's a WBC Eliminator. Hold on. Let me show y'all right now. Yo, and shout out to Jake Donovan, man. Gave me an interview, and man, every time, the reason why I wanted to interview him is he's one of the best journalists, man. Like, hold on, there we go. I found it. All right, let me screen share it for y'all. Yo, Jay, my Dominican Brooklyn brother. What up, brother? Pound for pound boxing. What up? Chilling. Let me know if y'all. Oh, I haven't even put the link for y'all to call in, but I'll put that up in a bit. Just give me a sec. I want to get my shit off first. So here, Keith, WBC president, Thurman versus Barrios is an official eliminator, not a final. So basically, this fight is an elimination fight. This fight is whoever wins this fight would have to fight David Avanesian to see who's going to be the WBC mandatory in the welterweight division. The belt is currently held by Errol Spence, who's going to fight your Dennis Ugas. So it looks like Keith Thurman has his next two fights lined up. He has this fight right here with Mario Barrios. Let's say he beats him. Then his next fight will be against David Avanesian. And then the next fight after that, hopefully Crawford and Spence would have fought by then, and they can fight each other. And, whoever is the winner of that fight can, is going to reign supreme as the undisputed welterweight champion. I'm looking forward to this. So yeah, hold on one second. All right. It's an official WBC eliminator, not a final. Mauricio Suleiman, longtime WBC president, informed boxingscene.com in clarifying the matter. Yeah. So the rumors of Thurman Barrios serving as a final eliminator originated from Thurman himself, who suggested as much during the most recent segment of Instagram Live based Timeout with Ray Flores series. It may have not been announced. You seem like you're a little unaware, Thurman told Flores, but the WBC approached me for a weigh-in check. And I said, why is the WBC approaching me for a weigh-in check? I don't hold the WBC title. Mario Barrios doesn't hold the WBC title. They have no right to check my weight. Unless this fight is a title eliminator, which I knew there was a small possibility of being on the books. If it hasn't been fully announced, this is my way of announcing it. They've been coming at me. If they want to stop checking my weight, if they're going to do something else. They're going to do something else, but everything in boxing is done for a reason. And I know that the only reason the WBC can request such a thing weeks prior to a fight is because this fight will be a 12-round title eliminator for the WBC. So the way he made it sound is like a final eliminator. So Jake Donovan, the guy who wrote this article, who I interviewed before, he goes on to say Thurman wasn't completely off base, though misinformed over what is at stake for the winner. Sanctioning bodies habitually approve requests for fights to serve as elimination bouts, often as a means to position fighters one step closer to challenging for the title. Only when the WBC or similar organizations declare a fight as a final eliminator is when the winner can expect to next face the reigning title holder. And like I mentioned before, if I'm not mistaken, the WBC number one ranked guy is David Avanesian. Let me double check that, but I'm almost positive. Because that's what the article said. The article said, hold let me see. Let me read the article exactly how it said. I'm not going to screen share it, but I'm going to just go back to it. It says, whoever prevails on February 5th will have to win at least one more fight to earn the mandatory position in the WBC rankings. Streaking contender David Avanesian remains first in line to participate in the final title eliminator. There you go. And that's honestly, those are two good comeback fights for Thurman. That's not, I don't have a problem necessarily as to, David Avanesian is ranked number 2 in the WBC. Virgil Ortiz is ranked number 1, but he's also ranked number 1 in the WBO. So I don't know which route he's going to go. If he's going to go the WBO or WBC route. But point is, it looks like that's who he'll have to face next. Those are two solid fights for Keith Thurman to come back, and then he'll be ready for a big dog, a Terrence Crawford, a Errol Spence, or your Dennis Ugas, a Boots Ennis, a Virgil Ortiz, Conor Benn, whoever, after those two fights, because I feel like he's been away from the ring so long, he needs two fights to, shake the rust off. You know what I'm saying? But why is it a pay-per-view though? Damn. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. PBC don't care about the consumer as far as the making them pay-per-views. They do care about the consumer in the sense that they usually try their best to give decent undercards. They do care about it in that sense, but they don't care as far as like they're throwing a pay-per-view every month. It's like, so what? You either buy it or don't. It's like, that's not the way you treat a customer, especially. Some of us are hardcore. Some of us are only boxing fans. I watch all sports, but there's some people who watch my videos and all they watch is boxing, and that's how the PBC is treating them. It's crazy. Joel, what do you think of Paulie's interview with Steve Kim and AC Slater being scrubbed from YouTube? All right, so for the people who are not aware of what happened, by the way, Gatorade need to pay me, man. Let me take this fucking label off, man. Y'all niggas ain't getting free promotion from me, man. Anyways, so if you guys are not aware, Paulie Malignaggi was on a podcast with Steve Kim and Mario Lopez. Mario Lopez was AC Slater from Saved by the Bell. And Paulie Malignaggi was saying how George Floyd was not murdered due to his race. It was just because he was uncooperative and wasn't listening to instructions that the cop was giving him, and that's why he died. And I'm paraphrasing. It's not an exact quote. I don't know how the fuck that conversation got started on a boxing podcast, but it did. But I'm like, bro, he was uncooperative. It was like he had a knee on his neck. So point is that caused a whole big buzz, especially on Twitter, how people were talking shit about Paulie Malignaggi and Steve Kim. And at one point, it seemed like they were laughing at it. Like Paulie Malignaggi was like, what did you expect the cop to do? Just sit there and go, all right, whenever you're ready, George, we'll take you to jail. And then everybody started laughing. And it's like, yo, bro, like somebody's life was taken, and a lot of people were hurt by that. The guy kneeled on the guy's neck for almost 9 minutes, and you over here joking about it. Yeah, Paulie Malignaggi, and I'm from Brooklyn, and he's from Brooklyn too. But that was some fuckboy shit. I called them out on Twitter. And what do I think about it being removed from Twitter? That they just doing damage control. They realize they made a mistake, and they're trying to, trying to correct it, or they're trying to hide their mistake. I don't know what's the thinking, but I'm not gonna get mad at them if they realize they made a mistake and they're trying to like correct it. Hey, fuck it, do that. But yeah, as far as the WBC, getting back to on topic, the WBC be on some bullshit, man. How the fuck is this a title eliminator? Thurman versus Barrios. Are you kidding me? So you telling me Thurman coming off a 31-month layoff, coming off a loss to Pacquiao, is fighting a junior welterweight who got knocked out by a lightweight who never held the WBC, moving up and weight to the welterweight division as a WBC eliminator? Like, how? How do you justify this? Where is this in your rules that you can just make anybody a fucking, a top contender in your sanctioning body? I'm not so sure one of these guys who are ranked already in the WBC can't go legal on the WBC. What the fuck? Like, if I'm ranked number 9, let's just say I'm ranked number 9. Let me see who's ranked number. Let me give you guys. All right. So in the WBC, look, Danny Garcia is ranked number 4. Josecito Lopez ranked number 6. Number 8 is Abel Ramos. How do you justify to these guys, the guys I just mentioned, how do you that who have been taking tough fights, who, you know, been going by the rules? How do you justify Mario Barrios getting a title elimination shot against a guy who had 31-month layoff and is coming off a loss? How do you justify them skipping me? I'm taking it legal, man. If I'm one of these guys, I'm Josecito Lopez, Abel Ramos, Danny Garcia, Jerron Boots Ennis, who's ranked number 3. If I'm any of these guys, and once I see Mario Barrios and it's announced, which it has been announced that it's a title elimination shot, I'm calling my lawyer and I'm figuring out what I can do. For real. For real. Yeah, Muhammad, you're absolutely right. WBC are the worst organization in boxing. Well, I think the WBA is, but yes, I want to say the second worst is definitely the WBC. You got to realize, Joel, he said he couldn't breathe in the car. Then the autopsy said he had 3 times the amount of fentanyl to kill a normal human. I mean, I don't want to get too conspiracy theory on this, Jody, but I'm not going to believe the government that just killed the man to tell me that, oh yeah, he had fentanyl in his body. I don't know, man. Maybe guys are trying to fucking cover up something. I know what I saw, bro. The guy's knee was on his neck for 9 minutes, almost 9 minutes, bro. That he asphyxiated him, bro. That's how he killed him. That was pretty brutal, bro. You're not gonna get me to sympathize with Paulie. I think the world needs people like Paulie, though. So you need people who have no empathy towards people who are criminals, because that's what that cop was when he kneeled on his neck. He was a fucking criminal. If you ain't see the video, go watch it and then come back to me and tell me that guy doesn't deserve to be in jail. So you want somebody that we need more people to justify criminals killing civilians in the street, whether you think that person was a bad guy or not. That's who you want more people to be like. Get the fuck out of here, man. The fuck Paulie Malignaggi for doing that bullshit, man. That was fucked up, man. Yo, that guy got a family, man. Even if you feel that way, you can't keep your comments to yourself. You can't keep your comments to yourself knowing that maybe his brother's a big boxing fan and was watching this boxing podcast to get his mind away from him, and he has to deal with somebody trying to justify his brother being murdered. Come on, bro. Nah, man. Nah. You ain't gonna get me to fucking start being a sympathetic towards Paulie Malignaggi. And I'm not even gonna say Paulie Malignaggi is a bad guy just yet, but what he did there is fucked up. And the fact that he hasn't come out and apologized because he realized he messed up is a bit weird for me to see, because I do think Paulie's a reasonable thinking person, but he didn't do that there. He didn't do that there. I ain't like what I thought there was some bullshit. Hold on, I'm about to open up the phone lines right now. If you guys want to call in, and then we can have a conversation, man. You guys can call in. We could talk about Paulie. We could talk about the topics of the day. The topic of the day, if you guys are just joining in, is hold on, I'm trying to pin it to the top of the chat. Topic of the day is Mario Barrios versus Keith Thurman being a WBC Eliminator, as well as Gary Russell Jr. being injured and still going into this fight. All right, so the link is pinned to the top of the chat. So if you guys want to call in, please do. You know, I love it when you guys call in. We can have the whole conversation about it. Oh, hold on. All right, cool. But yeah, I getting back to the WBC. Yo, the WBC has a history of doing fuckboy shit like this, man. Yo, it's like they make up the rules as they go along. And it's like, yo, bro, like, you got to understand, if you're going to do something shady, you're going to do something corrupt, you're going to do something that bends the rules a little bit. Don't do that shit in this sport, bro. People get knocked out. People risk their lives to be in this sport. So for you to take away somebody's ranking and put somebody ahead of them that doesn't deserve it, it dilutes the sport, brother. It dilutes your title. It makes your title look stupid. You're gonna be like, what? Because let's just say Keith Thurman is done. Let's just say he, that long layoff got to him, and then Mario Barrios beats him, and then Mario Barrios goes to fight David Avanesian, and David Avanesian beats him. So now the mandatory for Errol Spence or whoever has the WBC title is going to be David Avanesian. That's your number one ranked contender. And when I look at the rankings, you have much better people there. Look, number one is Virgil Ortiz. You can call him, find out, yo, what are you doing? Number two is David Avanesian. Number three is Jerome Boots Ennis. Decent person who shouldn't be skipped over. All right. Number four, Danny Garcia. I think Danny Garcia, I think he's done, to be honest. I don't think he's going to be competing at the top level. But point is, I would prefer him over Barrios. Like if you made Keith Thurman versus Danny Garcia a title eliminator, I wouldn't like it per se because Keith Thurman is coming off a loss. He is coming off a 31-month layoff, but I wouldn't hate it. I would just be like, all right, whatever, I guess. But it's a decent fight. Number five, you got Thulani Mbeng. I'm not familiar with this guy. Number six, Josecito Lopez. Number seven, Mikey Garcia. Number eight, Abel Ramos. It's like, how are we gonna skip all these guys? I don't get it. I really don't. I really, really don't. Huh? Y'all gonna have to make that make sense to me. You think Thurman and Crawford gonna make that fight in July? I don't think so. No, I don't think so. Because I think what was going to happen, unless, look, that all depends how Keith Thurman looks on February 5th, which I believe is in 3 weeks. If he looks good against Mario Barrios, let's say he knocks him out in the 4th round, and he looks spectacular, then I could say, yeah, because it looks like it's the same old Keith Thurman. But if he goes there, he struggles a little bit and he wins by decision and he got cut, he got dropped in then no, I don't see that fight happening next after this one. I do expect him to take 2 fights before he takes on whether it be Crawford or Spence. I'm trying to think who. I already mentioned it earlier. I think he beats Barrios, and then next after this, he beats David Avanesian for the WBC final eliminator, and then from there we find out whoever has the WBC belt at welterweight in the welterweight division is gonna have to see Keith Thurman if he wins those next 2 fights. So I don't think that fight with Crawford in the summer happens. Yo, so Joel, are you putting a bet on Mark Magsayo winning by decision? Seems hard to believe he can win in that manner. Yeah, I'm picking him to win by decision, man. I don't see him knocking out. I don't see him knocking out Gary Russell, to be honest. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put $50. Hold on, I'm gonna tell you the odds right now because they're giving good odds for Magsayo. Look, and I'm not telling people to bet because I don't want to be held responsible. I remember I was telling people like, oh, Teofimo's definitely going to knock out Kambosos. That shit did not happen, man. That shit did not happen. So I don't want to be held responsible. But so I'm putting $50 that Magsayo wins by decisions. And the odds are plus 750, meaning so if I bet $50, and I win, it's going to be $375. But I'm also putting $50 on Magsayo by KO just in case, because you never know. And that $50 is gonna win me if he wins by knockout. It's gonna win me $250. So that's how I'm doing it. I'm betting whatever. I'm betting $100. That's not that much money. Where if I lose it, I'm gonna be depressed and it's like my life savings. And if I win, is it life changing money? No, but hey, it's better to have $250 than to not have it. You know what I'm saying? Especially when the writing is kind of somewhat on the wall. Gary Russell admits he's going into the ring with an injury. On top of that, his father has his foot amputated, which you know is going to affect him mentally. His father, who's his trainer, is no longer training him due to the fact that he just had his foot amputated, and Gary Russell has announced that he's basically only training himself. Like, I cannot. How do I not take that bet? Because listen, I honestly, in my heart of heart, I think Gary Russell wins. I think Gary Russell's one of the most talented fighters in boxing. But at the same time, there's a lot of writing on the wall that this is leading up to an upset. He's also coming off a 2-year layoff, and he's the older fighter. He's the older fighter here. Maxillo's only 26. I don't know. He don't need to be outboxed, Aaron. Seems hard to see Gary getting outboxed. He don't need to be outboxed. He could be out physical. He could just be getting pounded on. How big is Maxillo? Maxillo is 5'6", and he pro debut at 126. So he's a natural 126 pounder. He's 26 years old, and he's 5'6", with a 68 reach. And he got short arms. Look, and Gary Russell's 5'4.5" with a 64-inch reach. So he's really small. How old is Gary Russell? Because they don't have his let me find out his age right now. But my point is, there's a lot of advantages on Maxillo's side. And again, I know for a fact that Gary Russell's the more talented fighter. And Gary Russell's 33 years old. Gary Russell is, 7 years older than this guy, coming off a 2-year layoff, is shorter, has shorter arms, is older. His father just got his foot amputated, who's his trainer. He's training himself. And on top of that, he said he's dealing with an injury going into the fight. I don't know, man. Yo, bro, don't get... Yo, don't get me tight, man. Yo, you're gonna make me. I ain't want to rip off the label because I ain't want to make the rapper noise. But yeah, motherfuckers ain't giving no free promotion, man. Let me rip off that rapper, man. If Gatorade want me to promote they shit, they're gonna have to pay me, man. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. They gonna have to pay me. Let me cut this shit the fuck off. There we go. All right, excuse the rapper noise, but all right, no free promotion on here, man. The only people or organization that gets free promotion is the Yankees, man. If y'all know me, I'm Dominican, man. We love baseball. So the Yankees, they get a free sponsor. I wear my shit all the time. I usually have my Aaron Judge Yankee cup. You know, I drink out of that when I'm on here, but I want to do the Gatorade. I mean, the sports drink. I'm not even going to say the brand name. Now I'm just drinking the sports drink today, you know? Last time I was 5'6", 126 pounds was when I was 10. Yeah, man. I'm a big dude myself, so I can't remember the last time I was that small. Definitely when I was 10, I was definitely bigger than 126. I'm a big ass dude. But point is, listen, Maxillo's taller, longer reach, younger. I don't know, man. Again, I'm betting 50 on Maxillo by decision and 50 Maxillo by knockout. I'm not telling anybody to take those bets because I'm not responsible for any other man's pockets. I'm responsible for this man's pockets, and that's what I'm doing with my money, because if I lose $100, I can afford it. So again, you do it whatever you want with the information I just did, but I'm just telling you how I'm betting this weekend. And it should be a good fight too, because Maxillo's an entertaining fighter. Also, Gary Russell got fucking power. He got skills. He got speed. So we'll see how does Maxillo handle that. Or does Maxillo use his size advantage, his use advantage to smother Gary Russell or frustrate him, push him around and bully him? I don't know. This will be an interesting fight. I'm looking forward to this fight. 33, but fights once every 3 years. Gary doesn't have much wear and tear. Yeah, but all that inactivity could affect him, could affect his speed, could affect his timing. And yeah, maybe you could take a year or two layoff when you're 28, 29, 30. Once you start getting 32, 33, 34, shit starts slowing down, man. So we don't know, especially when you add all the factors that I just mentioned. You add the fact that, his father, I keep repeating myself, but it's the truth. His father had his foot amputated, and his father's his trainer who hasn't been able to train him. And Gary Russell said in the interview that he's coming into the fight injured and that he's been training himself. Like, come on, man. Come on. Yeah, yeah, he's 31-1. Yes, Gary Russell is 31-1. Again, he has some of the best skills in boxing today. He just doesn't have the resume to back up him being a pound for pound fighter. But if you talk about just seeing what you see in skills, it's hard not to have Gary Russell in the pound for pound conversation. But it's just like the motherfucker doesn't fight enough, man. I'm a fan of Gary Russell, man. I like Gary Russell a lot. But again, there's too much writing on the wall for me to ignore and not possibly pick against him. I'm picking him against him. Now, again, this is a fight that Gary Russell should win, but there's an opportunity for him not to. And guys, if you guys want to call in and ask me anything, the link is pinned to the top of the chat. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to call in. I love it when you guys call in. I hope you win, but I can't see my boy Gary losing. Listen, I'm a big Gary Russell fan, so like if he was to win, I wouldn't be mad. Again, I bet $100 just because that's not that much for me where I'm at in my life right now. And I'm not a gambling addict. I gamble every now and then. Like, so this is a fight again that I see something and I'm like, all right, I see something. It's kind of like the Lomachenko Teofimo fight. I picked Teofimo because not only was he younger, also Lomachenko was coming off a year layoff. So I took that into consideration. I knew a young man like Teofimo could handle a longer layoff than an older person like Lomachenko. And I bet on Teofimo and I ended up winning. You know what I'm saying? I think I bet like $200 and won like $750 or something like that. I don't remember. But my point is, when you see things writing in the wall, sometimes it's best not to ignore it. You know what I'm saying? Maxillo is a slugger. I see Gary outbox him very easily. No, I mean, I'm not going to argue that. Like, again, I'm just going by everything he has said. I'm talking about what his words. Matter of fact, let me go back to the article because some of you guys weren't on when I read the article. Hold on one second. Let me read the article for you. Well, not the whole article, but parts of the article for you guys so you guys can see what I was talking about. Let me screen share it. All right. So Gary Russell will have a slight injury. Won't elaborate until after Maxillo fight. All right. So all right. I'm gonna read it again. Sorry if the guys who were already here, but we got new people in the chat. The long-reigning WBC featherweight champion revealed during an appearance Wednesday on the DAZN boxing show that he is suffering from a little slight injury that he declined to disclose. Russell will end almost a 2-year layoff on Saturday night and already has dealt with the foot amputation that has prevented his father, who is his longtime trainer, from properly helping him prepare for this fight. Russell revealed last week that he is essentially trained himself for his mandated defense versus the Philippine Maxillo on Saturday night in Atlantic City, New Jersey. His injury revelation was somewhat surprising because boxers typically don't divulge such information in the days leading up to a fight. Yeah, so it's like, how do you ignore that? I don't ignore Gary Russell's talent. How do you ignore that he's coming off a 2 years layoff? How do you ignore that his father got his foot amputated? How do you ignore that his father is not training him because he got his foot amputated? Also, he said he's training himself, so it's not like his father got his foot amputated and he's like, oh, but now instead of training with my father, I'm training with Barry Hunter. I'm training with Buddy McGirt, Ronnie Shields, Javon Sugar Hill, Freddie Roach. If you're telling me that, then I'm like, all right, no, now he's training with a legit trainer. He got Teddy Atlas in his corner. You think I'm gonna argue with Teddy Atlas? But it's like, you telling me you training yourself? You hurt? 2-year layoff? The guy's taller than you, longer reach, younger. I don't know, man. I find it hard to, put all my belief in Gary. And I think Gary is one of the most talented boxers in all of boxing right now. I really, really do. He's one of my personal favorites. I just can't really put my whole Broadway Joel stamp on him like that because, the guy fights once every 2 years, once a year. I can't get that excited for him. Can't get that excited. Hold on. Also, Gary never been dropped as well as Maxillo. Best chance of winning is by KO. Nah, I mean, you dismissing the fact that sluggers can win decisions. I like Pacquiao won decisions before. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Like, who else? Cotto has won decisions before. Mosley has won decisions before. And I'm not comparing those guys to Maxillo. I'm just saying those guys are sluggers. Those guys are offensive fighters and have won decisions. They don't win all their fights by knockouts. And again, if you're getting a guy who's just slipping just a little bit, whether it be because of the injury, whether because he's training himself, or because it's a long layoff, that little difference in a championship fight can make the world of difference. You got to remember, Maxillo, this is his first title shot. He's going to be going all in. He's going to be training as hard as he can, as hard as possible. He's 26. This is what he's been dreaming of. If he wins this fight, his life changes. He is a world champion. He can go back to the Philippines and possibly get the same love of Manny Pacquiao got the first time he won his world title. So it's like, let's not ignore that Maxillo has a good chance. I got $100. I got my money where my mouth is. It's not like I'm over here talking shit just to cause up a ruckus, just to get callers calling in. Nah, this is what I actually think. I actually think Maxillo has a legit shot. I think Gary Russell should beat Maxillo, but with the taken into consideration all the circumstances, I'm putting 100 on Maxillo. I will be going to my local Buffalo Wild Wings to watch this Thurman fight because I'd rather chat with some friends and eat some wings than get finessed out of $75. Listen, I'm not gonna argue with you, brother. I'm not that fight is not worth a pay-per-view. You know what I'm saying? That's when people tell me there's certain fights where if people tell me they illegally stream it, I get mad. I'll be like, come on, man. That's a legit fight. Like I got mad when people was telling me they were legally streaming Wilder Fury. That was a legit fight with a decent undercard. Like, bro, don't steal from the fighters. Now, the Keith Thurman Barrios fight, I'm not telling you to do anything. I'm just like, if you do illegally stream, and I'm not, and you just said you going somewhere. I'm not saying that that's what you're saying. If somebody does illegally stream it, I'm not gonna look down on them. I'll just be like, all right, that's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna knock it. But when there's a fight like Wilder Fury, Plant Canelo, trying to think of what Porter Crawford, those types of pay-per-views, I get mad when people tell me they stealing those because those are legit fights. That is something that they're giving the fans, and I guess I'm a bit prideful when it comes to that. Like I buy the fights. I'm like, yo, that's a legit fight, man. Take my money, please. And if it's a fight I don't like, I go to my father's house. I'm like, Dad, you buying the fight? Yeah. I'm like, all right, let's watch it together. I think he is setting an excuse. Honestly, this is a tough fight. I believe he's talking about the Mark Maxillo, Gary Russell fight. Yeah, it's a tough fight. It is a tough fight. I don't know if he's setting an excuse or if he's telling the truth. Because let's say he knocks the guy out and then goes, yo, yeah, I had a bad shoulder. Like, was that an excuse or does he really have a bad shoulder? I'm not going to, even if he does lose, I'm not going to discount the fact that he did say before the fight that he had an injury. I'm not going to discount that. I can't. Yeah, we want fighters to be honest. He's being honest. The only thing that surprised me was you being honest, right? You being honest, that could cost you, the fight because the commission could be like, wait a minute, you injured going into this fight? You fighting in my state? Hold on. All right, let's get this guy tested. What is the lingering injury that you were speaking on the Zone boxing show? And then you kind of have they're forcing your hand like, well, well, it is my shoulder, or it is my elbow, it is my knee, whatever it is, you know. So I'm surprised that he went that route of talking about his injury on a public platform, knowing it's going to get written about, knowing it's going to get shared and talked about. And again, it literally has changed my perspective as to who I think is going to win. That little tidbit that he said literally is going to make me bet $100 on Maxillo. So it's like, you got to be careful with your words, especially when you're doing these interviews, no matter how cool the host is or the co-host is or how you know them, because once the words come out your mouth, you have no control how that affects the public, how that affects the commission, how that affects people's interpretation of what you're saying. So I honestly think it's a legit injury. He's bringing it up. I think he got comfortable. Those guys, Ak and Barack, those are cool dudes, man. That like, and it's easy to let your guard down when you somebody like that. And although they're cool and they're asking legit questions and not trying to manipulate your words, sometimes what you say on that platform could be taken out of context, and somebody could write an article, putting your name in a certain way. And that's not, I'm not saying that that's what the guy who wrote that was Keith Eidig. That's not what I'm saying Keith Eidig did. What I'm saying is you do have to be careful when you say something and then the commission gets word of it. I mean, but it looks like the commission not being aware of it, because they haven't canceled the fight. They haven't said anything. Or at least they haven't requested additional medical testing. You know, they haven't been like, hey, listen, you gotta come for your physical. Hold on 1 second, guys. Yeah, like, you gotta come for a physical. We gotta make sure you're 100%. Because you gotta remember, if Gary Russell was to get injured significantly in this fight, Gary Russell family could sue the New Jersey commission, be like, oh, he spoke about this injury. He was slightly going into the fight, and you guys still let him fight. You guys are responsible for making sure the fighters are 100% going into the ring, blah, blah, blah. You never know. You never know. I believe the New York State Commission got sued by what's the guy, that Russian heavyweight that died? Well, I don't know if he died. He got into a coma here in New York. I forget it. Magomed something. I forget his last name. It was against Luis Ortiz, the heavyweight, not Luis Ortiz. Either way, there's a Cuban heavyweight he was Cuban, but he lived in Ireland. That dude. Yeah. No way I would pay pay-per-view for one time, meaning Keith Thurman. I mean, yeah, everybody's entitled. That's why I put up the poll. I put up a poll on my YouTube. I wanted to know how I put 3 options. No, you're not buying the pay-per-view with Keith Thurman. Yes, you are buying the pay-per-view with Keith Thurman. And I put the third was illegally stream it. I should have put a fourth, because some people were like, oh, you should have put a fourth because I'm going to my friend's house. I'm going to Buffalo Wild Wings, you know. So if you're going to your friend's house and he's buying the fight, you know, and you're not paying for it, I should have made that an option. But point is, more people say they're not buying the pay-per-view than are saying that they're going to legally stream it or that they're going to buy it. As of right now, yeah. Your poll was like 90% against buying the pay-per-view. Nah, it wasn't 90%, but it was pretty significant. Oh, we got a caller. Hold on 1 second. Boxing. What's going on, brother? Hello?
You're biased as fuck.
Yeah, so what's your opinion? What am I biased on?
You're biased. Delete your channel.
Yeah, that dude's a cornball, bro. You really just called in just to say I'm biased? Like, I don't give a fuck if motherfuckers want to debate me. I'm cool. Call back, pussy. Call back and have a conversation with me instead of you coming here telling me I'm biased and moving on. What am I biased on? I'm talking about Gary Russell Jr. Listen, look, yo, bro, you can't even say I'm biased. Look, I talked about 2 things today. I talked about Keith Thurman versus Mario Barrios being the WBC Eliminator. That's what I talked about. I don't know how it could be biased. I don't think that's a worthy elimination fight. They're both coming off losses, and Keith Thurman's coming off a 31-month layoff. There's no way I can be biased there. So let's move that to the side. All right, so what? Are you saying I'm biased against Gary Russell? I just said he's one of my favorite fighters. I just said he's coming off a 2-year layoff. He spoke about being injured. He spoke about his father's foot getting amputated, his father not training, how he's training himself. All this is facts, and I've showed articles. What are you talking about? I'm being biased. You're being a pussy. You said something to me. You thought I was going to be like, hey, and get all flustered. I just said, what am I being biased about? Let's have a conversation. Call back. Call back. And you came over here. You ain't even put your real name. So, like, I'm showing my face. I'm over here talking. Call back. Call back, pussy. That's the fuck I thought, man. Yo, dudes be on here acting tough. The moment, listen, I can only imagine if I was in front of your face. I'm calling in. I got you calling in, and you scared to talk to me over the phone. And you, imagine what would you do if I was in front of you? Come on, get the fuck out of here, bro. Anyways, dude soft. That dude is soft. Anybody else want to call in? Whether you agree or disagree, because again, as you saw, my energy was, what am I biased about? It wasn't, shut up, I don't want to talk to you. It was, okay, what am I biased about? And that's my type of energy. Anytime anybody disagrees with me, let's have a conversation. And that goes for anybody. And that's why I always, and Aaron's always on here, I always put the link in the chat. Because if a motherfucker got a problem with me, just click that link and we can have a conversation. I never get on here disrespecting everybody's wife or kids or moms or anything like that. All right. You say you aren't biased, but you think Tank Davis and Ryan are more accomplished and proven than Devin Haney. When did I say that? When did I say that? Laugh my ass off. Bro, you think Ryan Garcia is a part of the Four Kings? Your account is trash. Okay, I mean, that's my opinion. Like, what do you want me to do? It's my opinion. You're entitled to your opinion. That's the thing. I never said that Tank and Ryan are more accomplished than Devin Haney. What I said was, if you actually watch the video, is I haven't seen anything from Devin Haney that I find special. I seen his fight against Jorge Linares. I didn't see anything special, and he got hurt in that fight. And he didn't react like a champion when he got hurt. He went holding. He was doing all types of funny shit. All right. Then the Gamboa fight. It was one of the most boring fights I've ever seen. Never hurt or dropped Gamboa. And by the way, Linares and Gamboa are two of the fighters with the worst chins in boxing. There's very few fights where you see Gamboa not hitting the ground. And this guy went full 12 and never hurt him and never dropped him. Same thing with Jorge Linares. And then in the Jojo Diaz fight, Jojo Diaz pro debut at 122, didn't hurt him, didn't drop him, and got roughed up in that 12th round. So I don't understand where this coming from. Like, I just have an opinion. I never said Devin Haney is a bitch or he's a pussy or whatever. I just said I don't see nothing special. Call in, Mr. Krabs, because it probably was you who called in earlier on some soft shit and ran out once you saw the energy ain't changed. Call in. I'm not scared of nobody. The link is pinned to the top of the chat, whether you agree or disagree. Come on, man. Yeah, look. Facts, though. Devin Haney isn't that special. That's not just my opinion. There's other people on here with the same opinion as me. I don't understand. We all are entitled to our opinion. Now, the moment I start getting disrespectful against Devin Haney, then you could get on here and say whatever you want. But I just have an opinion, a boxing opinion. I never disrespect nobody because that's the type of man I am. Come on, man. All right. You say all this stuff, but all these guys ducked Haney. Ryan Garcia equal ducked Haney. Tank Davis equal only fighting PBC fighters. These dudes are ducks, and you praise these dudes. You biased clown. Your mother's a clown, nigga. Get the fuck out of here. Anyways, as far as Ryan ducking Haney, I actually agree with you. He did duck Haney, and I actually did make a video. Matter of fact, let me go play this because this clown obviously just got to my page. And so I actually made a video how Ryan Garcia is ducking Haney. And as far as Tank only fighting PBC fighters, I do disagree with that. He shouldn't be doing that. But at the end of the day, he's not his own boss. That's Mayweather. And that's what Mayweather wants to do. So if your trainer, your promoter is talking like that, it's not much you can do. You sign to him. Come on, man. This dude's a clown, man. You mad now? You talk about people's moms. Yo, bro, you calling me a clown. You calling me a clown. You the one that's taking it to the next step. Like, I'm talking boxing. The moment you insult me, you open up the gates for me to insult you. Don't insult me. Yo, what up, my brother? KO boxing breaking news. What up, my brother? Yeah. I'm just arguing with some clown right now that don't want to call in because he's soft. Yeah. But yeah, don't insult me. If you want to have a boxing conversation, we good, man. I love heated debates. I love heated but don't insult me and I won't insult you. Again, you don't hear me talk about Aaron like that. Why I haven't said anything to Aaron like that or David Benjamin or pound for pound boxing real news or KO boxing breaking news? Why haven't I said anything like that? Because they haven't insulted me. So don't insult me and please be respectful. Please. Haney nice, but he still ain't top 4, at least not just yet. All right. You see? I mean, that's not just me. That's not just me. He said, I'm telling you what people in the chat are saying. Soft ass dude. Anyways, let me get off this clown because he pussy. He not calling in. So as far as Gary Russell Jr., Keith Thurman. Who in here is buying the fight? Clowns like to start trouble, clown. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind with you starting trouble, but don't start trouble, call in, and then hang up, and then start talking in the chat. That's some soft shit. Now, if you calling in and you having a respectful back and forth, that's cool with me. But don't call in and then hang up. Like that's pussy shit. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of person I am. I don't know. If I got a problem with somebody, I'm gonna go see him. I don't mean I'm gonna do something to him. I'm gonna talk to him. Yo, brother, what's the problem? You got a problem with the way I think about Devin Haney? I don't know what how much stock you own in Devin Haney, but I'm entitled to my opinion, brother. I never disrespected him. I'm entitled to my opinion. I don't think he's special. I don't. I think Kambosos beats him. I think if and when that fight happens, I'm gonna drop because Devin Haney's gonna be the favorite because apparently, he's this special fighter. I'm putting money on Kambosos. That's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'll do. I'm gonna put my money on Kambosos. What's your favorite weight class, Joel? Right now is the lightweight division. Definitely the lightweight division. But if you want to talk about from a historical standpoint, and I know that's probably not what you're asking. From a historical standpoint, I like the middleweight division. Middleweight division had Hopkins, Roy Jones, Sugar Ray Leonard, Hagler, Duran, Hearns. I don't know if Hearns was a champion at 160, but Sugar Ray Robinson. From a real historical perspective, I think the middleweight division might be the second most historical fight division from a historical sense. Now, from a monetarily, probably recently is definitely the welterweight division. So historically, welterweight and middleweights are my favorite. Currently, right now, is definitely the lightweight division with, it has Loma, Tank, Ryan, Devin Haney, who's not special. I just said that for Mr. Krabs. Who else? What's the guy? And they even got guys coming up. Jose Valenzuela, Frank Martin, all those dudes, man. All those dudes. Kambosos is very aggressive for anyone in the lightweight division. Nah, Kambosos is nice, man. It's definitely nice. So Haney isn't a part of the Four Kings because he's not special. That makes no sense at all, according to your logic. You're the up-and-coming Punch Drunk boxing. I mean, Punch Drunk got a lot of subscribers, so I'm gonna take that as a compliment. Guess what? I'm gonna put you in timeout. I'm not gonna block you. I'm gonna just put you in timeout. You can't comment for 5 minutes, all right? Because you don't want to call in. That's your punishment. That's your jail. I'm not gonna give you a life sentence. Just 5 minutes. You can't comment. That timeout is for you to think to call in. Soft ass. Who you think Canelo fighting next, bro? Oh, that's Carlos Montes. What up, baby? My man Carlos Montes, one of my most loyal subscribers. Who do I think he's fighting next? I don't know. I saw Chava from ESPN announce that whoever he's fighting next, a lot of boxing purists are not going to enjoy. So since he said that, I would say either Conor McGregor or Jake Paul or Kamaru Usman. Again, if we're going by what that guy's, what Chava said on ESPN Deportes. But if we're not going by that, if we talk about real boxing, I think he's fighting either Makabu or Charlo, because those are the rumors, the names that have been rumors. And I'm leaning towards Makabu because why would you petition to fight for the WBC? Because then the WBC, since you told them that, made an interim fight for David Benavidez to fight for a WBC interim belt with David Lemieux, for you to then defend your WBC championship against Charlo. I don't see it happening. So I want to say it's Makabu most likely, but it's either Makabu, Charlo, if we're talking real boxing. If we're going by what Chava said as far as that his next opponent is going to be one that the boxing purists don't enjoy, I'm going either Conor McGregor, Jake Paul, or Kamaru Usman. And out of those three, I'm leaning more Kamaru Usman. That's what I think. Yo, it's Pete season, by the way. What's up, my boy? What's going on, my brother? Been at work these past 2 Wednesdays. I'm good today, though. Oh, yeah. My man Carlos, he stayed calling in. Shout out to Carlos Montes, man. That's my dude. This is another dude I got to put on timeout. Hold on. Yeah, man. But this is a good day, good topics today. If you guys want to call in, the link is pinned to the top of the chat. We can have the conversation. And I'm glad Carlos is here. Shout out to Carlos. Can Maris Brady's beat Jake Paul? Maris Brady's would kill Jake Paul, man. Jake Paul is not. I like Jake Paul for what he is. I don't like him for now. We talk about him fighting world champions and shit like that. Like, keep fighting these MMA fighters. Keep fighting these other YouTubers, these basketball players, a football player. Don't start going into fighting champions. Like, isn't Brady's the lineal cruiserweight champion? Bro, you don't go from struggling with Tyron Woodley in 2 fights to fighting the lineal cruiserweight champion. Like, it just doesn't work that way. He would get hurt real bad, man. Yeah, man. I'm not even like I put him in timeout. So if he comes back, we'll see what type of shit. Because I don't give a fuck when motherfuckers talk shit. You can talk shit on my shit all day. I'll just block you or mute you, or I'll figure it out if you're getting too disrespectful. But I just, put him on timeout. But what do you guys think of Jake Paul? Do you guys think? I think he's good for boxing. Look, he put Montana Love on. I didn't know who Montana Love was until I saw him on the undercard, and then he got signed by Matchroom. He got signed by Eddie Hearn. Amanda Serrano, I know her personally, so it's unfair for me to say I don't know her. But her name wasn't really out there like that. She wasn't buzzing. She signed with Jake Paul. Now she getting $1 million paydays, about to get a fight with Katie Taylor. Okay. That's a good thing he did for boxing. Also, I'm not going to say I wasn't entertained by that Deron Williams, Frank Gore fight. I was entertained. And again, he's scoring knockouts. Like, I was entertained with that Nate Robinson knockout. I was entertained with that knockout of Tyron Woodley. Like, seeing somebody just rendered unconscious, whether, it was the best form or not, seeing somebody knocked out is pretty entertaining. As long as, the person's okay, obviously. But yeah. I think Jake Paul's good for boxing. I know I'm probably in the minority, but I think he's good for boxing. Brady's versus Usyk is one of my favorite fights ever. I always scored a draw. I gotta watch that fight. I feel bad for Usyk. Well, I don't want to say I feel bad. I need to do more homework on Usyk because for whatever reason, every time he fought, I had something to do. I've only seen him fight at the heavyweight division. I've never seen him fight in the cruiserweight division. I've seen his box rec. I know he's a great fighter, but it's only because every time he fought, I had something to do, whether it be with my girl or work or what, and then I would watch highlights of it. I never really watched a full fight of him at cruiserweight. So I got to do my homework on that. Yeah, I got to give Jake props. Dude is a genius. Picking the fights he knows he's going to win and sells out events, except his last pay-per-view, though. Well, his last pay-per-view, if we're being fair, was a last-minute replacement. He was going to fight Tommy Fury, and then Tyron Woodley took the fight on 2 weeks' notice. So, for us to discount the fact that it was a late replacement would be unfair, because a lot of people give Tank that excuse, and it's a legit excuse. It's a legit excuse. When you got a last-minute opponent and you were hyped for Tommy Fury versus Jake Paul, and they're giving you now Tyron Woodley with the Jake Paul, which you already saw, you weren't necessarily asking for. It's like, I got to give him a break. He sold the place out, though. He sold the place out, and he gave a pretty good undercard with Amanda Serrano, Deron Williams, and he had some Australian fighter on the undercard. It was a pretty boring fight, but point is, it was 2 undefeated fighters, one undefeated Puerto Rican, one undefeated Australian fighter fighting on the undercard. So I give him his props. But guys, if you guys want to call in, please click the link in the top of the chat. It'll take you to a website. From there, if you're smart enough, you'll figure it out. You'll call in from there. Yeah, man. But damn, yo, they came at my head, man. They came at my head today. This is my first time ever happening to me. People trying to troll me. You know what it is? I came off so aggressive. I think I scared them away. They're like, hold on. No, realize nobody want to call in, though. They ain't about that life. They don't want that smoke. But yeah, man. Let me see what else, if anything has broke while I've been on live real quick. Wow. Did y'all see that article where Joseph Parker said he'll never fight Tyson Fury, that he'll find another path to a title? Y'all seen that? I like, what kind of person says that, bro? I would never be a fan of Joseph Parker. I don't care how cool we are, man. If you got a belt and we in the same weight class, I'm trying to fight you, man. We could be friends afterwards. There's been plenty of times where friends fight. Plenty of times where friends fight. I'm trying to find a quote. All right, there we go. Hold on 1 second. I'm screen sharing. Hold on 1 second, guys. All right, boom. So this is Joseph Parker talking about Tyson Fury. We have a great relationship. He treats me like a younger brother. His whole family looks after me. I've based myself here in Morecambe now. I've stayed at his house. I'm using his gym. I think I'll never fight him. I'll let him do his thing and fight everyone else. Parker told Talk Sport. I'll try to go another path and do my best to win the other belts if I can. Luckily, I don't think, Joseph Parker is ever going to be a world champion again. So, but you imagine, we want an undisputed heavyweight championship fight, and let's say Fury has 2 of the belts and Parker has 2 of the belts, and we're not going to get it just because they're friends. That's kind of corny, man. And I understand not wanting to fight your friend. Had he said, listen, if we fight, that'll be later down the road. I'd rather not fight him. I'd rather fight somebody else for a belt. There's 3 other belts. Once I get my belt, if he has the other ones remaining to become undisputed, it's always been a dream of mine to become undisputed champion. We'll just have to be friends after the fight. Had he said something like that, I'd be cool. I'd be like, all right, that I understand that. Who knows? Fury may retire in 2 years and you never have to fight him. But it's not like you would never fight him. I don't know. If I'm a fan of somebody, I want somebody who's willing to fight everybody, man. I just that's the kind of fighter I want. I can never be a fan of Joseph Parker after that quote. Yo, you'll never fight Tyson Fury, the #1 heavyweight? Are you kidding me? You don't want to be a legend? You don't want legacy? You don't want to be the guy that beat the biggest heavyweight champion of all time? I don't know, man. Like, that shit ain't for me, man. I can never root for a champion like that. Never, never. I don't think he ever wins a belt like that with that mentality. Also, if you saw his last fight against Chisora, that Chisora fight shouldn't have gone the distance, man. Chisora was gassed by like the fifth, sixth. Should have got that guy out of there. Although Chisora is a tough dude, but you know, it's not like he hasn't been knocked out before. You know what I'm saying? Guys, if you guys want to call in, the link is pinned to the top of the chat. Takes you to a website, and we'll figure it out from there. But yeah, man. Trying to see what else is going on in the boxing world right now. By the way, I appreciate you guys being here, man. I really, really do. Anytime people pull up to hear me talk boxing, it's a very rewarding feeling. So apparently Khan has a rematch clause against Kell Brook. Amir Khan has a rematch clause against Kell Brook. Find that interesting. I thought that would just be a one-off. Nah, but for real, Parker got to fight him. Or even Waldo or Ruiz, maybe Luis Ortiz. Yeah, no. Like I said, I don't mind him taking the long route into fighting Tyson Fury. Like, all right, let me fight Ortiz. No, let me get another belt. Because he was a former world champion. I believe he was a champion of the WBO, if I'm not mistaken. If he goes, listen, I want the winner of Usyk Joshua instead of Fury because he has the other belt. And let's say he pursues that fight and he beats Joshua. Let's just say I'm making that up. He beats Joshua. And now he has 3 of the belts. The remaining belt is with Tyson Fury. What? We just not going to have you guys fight because you guys are friends? The fuck out of here, man. I don't want no champion like that, man. Boxing, we already get the fights we don't want. We already, I'm not going to lie. We have been being better with the undisputed fights, but we usually, in the past, I'm going to say 2 years prior to this, we never got undisputed fights, even when we asked for them, even when we wanted them. So you telling me if there's a missing link between Parker and Fury, this dude is not going to undispute? This dude is not going to fight him because he considers him a brother? Get the fuck out of here, man. I'm not with that shit, man. I'm definitely not with that shit. But yo, the WBC, man, yo, I hope I could get a Mauricio Sulaiman interview, man. I'm going to email him. I'm going to DM him. I'm going to do everything in my power to contact this man and try to get him on the podcast next week. That's what I'm going to try to do. I'm not saying, hey, listen, I got an Olympic gold medalist before. I got Jake Donovan, vice president of the Boxing Writers Association before. Who's to say that I can't get Mauricio Sulaiman? So I'm going to send him an email. I'm going to DM him. I'm going to do everything in my possible because he needs to make this make sense to me. Make this make sense that Mario Barrios, a junior lightweight that got knocked out by junior welterweight, that got knocked out by a lightweight, is moving up in weight to fight a guy who's coming off a loss and a 31-month layoff, and this is a WBC eliminator. Explain that to me, especially when Barrios was never a WBC champion. Now, if Barrios was a WBC champion at 140, got beat, then moved up, I still wouldn't like it, but it would be more understandable. There's a relationship with Mario Barrios and the WBC. I can understand it, but there is no reason why this should be an elimination fight at all. At all. I have no idea why. No idea why this is going on. But that's the type of bullshit the WBC be on, man. WBC literally just looks who can get them the highest sanction and body fee. So whoever makes the most money, that's who they're going to favor. They're never going to favor the little guy. So right now they're trying to position Keith Thurman. They're trying to position Keith Thurman to get a title shot because Keith Thurman sold 600,000 pay-per-views with Manny Pacquiao because Keith Thurman is a good talker because Keith Thurman is an entertaining fighter in the ring. So they're just trying to position him as opposed to going by their rules, respecting the rankings, respecting the fighters who are paying sanctioning fees to maintain their ranking with the WBC. It's like, yo, what the fuck are y'all niggas doing, man? It's some bullshit. Some real bullshit. Bro, did you see they announced Masvidal versus Covington? I know it's MMA, but that's a big fight everyone wanted for the last 2 years. Yeah, I actually did see. I believe it's March 5th. March 5th they doing it. I'm excited for that fight, man, because Masvidal, I love the way he trash talk. Covington's a great talker. He plays into that whole Trump supporter, make America great again hat wearing guy. He plays into that, and it's somewhat entertaining. I like it. And Masvidal gets knockouts. Covington is a tough dude. I'm not a fan of Covington, but I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say he's not a tough guy. He's a tough guy. He went to war with Usman, got his jaw broken. So I think him and that's a good fight, and I'm excited for it, especially since they have a lot of history. They used to be friends, now they're not friends anymore. So I'm sure UFC is gonna do a real good job as to playing up their old rivalry. But yeah, I like that fight, Masvidal versus Covington. I got Masvidal. I got Masvidal. Although Masvidal is a bit older, a bit old. He's like 37, 38. I don't know how old's Kobe Covington though. Yeah. My bad, guys. I know I know some of y'all don't fuck with MMA. Some of y'all like, fuck this dude talk about MMA. Oh, he's 33. So yeah, Covington is significantly younger. He's like 4 or 5 years younger. But hey, we'll see. We'll see. Age is just a number sometimes, I've seen older dudes put hands on younger dudes, both in the streets and in the ring and in the octagon. So I'm not gonna discount somebody's age, Although that does play a part into it. That does play a part. Which is why one of the reasons why I'm picking Maxillo over Gary Russell. And again, I got my money where my mouth is there. Everyone be saying their beef is fake, but the storyline is how they were really close friends and lived together. Now they hate each other. Yeah, I'm not too familiar as to why they hate each other. I haven't gotten to that part of the story, but I have seen plenty of pictures and videos of them hanging out and them cheering for each other and stuff like that. It's kind of a shame when you see close friends not become friends anymore, but shit happens, Look, Mr. Krabs probably used to be a subscriber. Now, not after I screamed on him, he probably no longer a subscriber. Shit just happens. But yeah, man. Again, yo, I hope I get Mauricio Sulaiman on here because I'm gonna ask him about the WBC franchise. I'm gonna ask him about this title eliminator with Keith Thurman. I'm gonna ask him about yo, my bad. Yo, I don't know what the hell happened. I was like, my shit just went blank. I don't know. I think I might have pressed the exit button on the screen. But yo, I appreciate you guys who stood on. Damn, that was weird. That was weird. My bad, y'all. I forgot what my train of thinking. What was I talking about? Let me know in the chat what I was just talking about. God damn, man. This is my first big mistake. Hold on. Is the link still pinned to the top of the chat? Yeah. I have no idea what happened there, brother. My bad, bro. My bad. Hold on. Let me see if the link is still pinned to the top of the chat. Yeah, that was weird. That was weird what just happened. Yeah, the link is still pinned to the top. Yo, at least it wasn't that bad. All right, cool. Yeah. All right, since I'm good. Yeah. Yo, somebody call in, man. Somebody call in. That dude got me hyped up, man. I would have heard that. I want to go back and forth with somebody. That I'm gonna try to have a guest on every week. I'm gonna try to have the first hour for the fans, for for you guys to, well, subscribers, for you guys to have the opportunity to call in, whether you agree or disagree. And then the last hour, I'm gonna try to have a guest every week after this. Yeah. Oh, is Aaron still on? I know Aaron. Aaron, comment in the comment section if you still on, because I know you from Australia. I want to ask you a question because Bob Arum said that nobody knows Haney in Australia, and that Lomachenko versus Kambosos is a much bigger fight. Look, Aram, nobody knows Haney in Australia. Kambosos, Lomachenko, a much bigger fight. Damn, I literally just said that in an exact quote, but I was honestly trying to paraphrase what Bob Arum said. Now that I'm reading out loud, it's literally what I just said, which is pretty funny. But yeah, Top Rank CEO Bob Arum, who promotes Vasily Lomachenko, strongly believes that his boxer is the biggest possible option for WBO, WBC franchise, WBA, IBF lightweight champion George Kambosos. Lomachenko, blah, blah, blah. Hold on. Let me get to it. Yeah, I honestly, Devin Haney is not that popular of a fighter, not even in America. So I would doubt in Australia he'll be more popular. Like, Lomachenko has international experience as far as like, two-time gold medalists and all those amateur tournaments. So if anybody's into amateur boxing, they're somewhat familiar with Lomachenko. And if you're into professional boxing, back when HBO was the number one best thing, that's where Lomachenko was fighting. And then now he's fighting on ESPN, the worldwide leader of sports. Meanwhile, Devin Haney's fighting on the DAZN app, which I believe just got launched in DAZN. So, just got launched in Australia. So it's very hard for me to believe that Devin Haney is as popular as Lomachenko in Australia. So, and I do know that they do have a pay-per-view set up out in Australia. So selling a pay-per-view with Devin Haney as opposed to Lomachenko, I don't know. I think Lomachenko is the better one as far as monetarily. Now, if you want to talk about legacy-wise, I do think that Devin Haney has that WBC regular. Some people argue that he is a champion. Some people argue that George Kambosos is already an undisputed champion. So that fight naturally happens better, naturally is a good fight for each other. But as far as who you make more money with, I would think Lomachenko. I don't know. I just don't see. I just know that Eddie Hearn would provide a lot more money as far as like one single pay, because DAZN just got launched in Australia and DAZN model is no pay-per-view. So they would have to pay George Kambosos what, $4 million or something? Because he's going to want more than Devin. I remember there was a conversation where Devin Haney was like, we can fight, but the money got to be right. And Kambosos was like, as long as I'm getting more money because I got more belts. I remember I was like, ooh. And it's the truth. So if you come in at if Devin Haney, who likes to be like, I'm the biggest paid guy, I'm the most paid guy, is like, you're the most paid guy, but you're not going to get paid more than me if you want this fight. Either take a pay cut and I'm taking some of your money, or, tell your boy, to pay me more. Tell Eddie Hearn to pay me more than you. That's the way my attitude would be. Or I could just go to Lomachenko route and just have you walking around trying to prove that your WBC title is a real championship. You get what I'm saying? So Kambosos has a lot of leverage. A lot of leverage. I think Loma is bigger draw in Australia than Devin Haney. I agree. But I think Australians would buy a fight just to support Kambosos no matter the opponent. No, I agree. I agree. No, and to be fair, Eddie Hearn is a great promoter. Like just hearing him speak and promote a fight, does a really, really good job. So if he can somehow, let's just say, like you said, people are going to buy this fight. People are going to watch this fight, whether Kambosos fights Loma or Haney. If you put Eddie Hearn's mouthpiece to the Australian media and have him, sweet talk all these people and say how this is an undisputed fight, how big of a fight it is, and how he promoted a big upset that Kambosos did against Teofimo Lopez. You get what I'm saying? If he says all of that, I think he can make this a big fight. But I do agree, Lomachenko is the much more recognizable name. The fight will also be aired on ESPN in America, which will be more accessible to us Americans, if we're being honest. So yeah, I like both fights, to be honest. I would rather Devin Haney just to clear up this whole undisputed things. But if he went the Lomachenko route, I wouldn't hate it. Because that's a good fight. It's a good fight. It's two talented fighters, and again, tell Lomachenko, put his money where his mouth is. He says he's willing to go to Australia. Let him go. I just don't see Bob Arum paying George Kambosos $3, $4, $5 million to fight Lomachenko. I do see Eddie Hearn doing that for him to fight Devin Haney. I do believe that. I do believe that. Guys, if you want to excuse me. Guys, if you want to call in, please click the link in the top of the chat. It'll take you to a website, and then from there, we can have a conversation. My man, pound for pound boxing, real news. I wish Tio can make 135 comfortably because I think Tio kills Kambosos in a rematch. I totally agree with you. I just think he came with a really bad game plan, and Kambosos came with a really good game plan. So it was like a combination of both those things. Tio saying that he wasn't 100% healthy and all this, and I'm not big on excuses, but that is something he said. But yeah, I just think Tio. I think he beats Otto. He already beat Loma. I think he beats Tank. I think he beats Devin. Him and Ryan's an interesting fight only because Tio does tend to sometimes get overly aggressive, and man, Ryan Garcia's one punch knockout power is legit, man. Like, and now he's going to the body with it. We saw him knock out Luke Campbell with a left hook to the body. So, but then again, you can't depend on Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia is a very erratic person, man. Pulls out of fights. Sometimes, after every big lightweight fight, he talks about how he would have knocked both those guys out at the same time, and it's like, so he does a lot of weird shit, but his speed and power, man, you can't just run in all aggressive. Like if Teofimo fights how he fought George Kambosos, Ryan Garcia, and Ryan Garcia catches him with a flush left hook, it's night. But I do think he beats all those other guys. But he says he can't make 135 no more. He's going to move up to 140. And if you can't make the weight, man, that's the best move. You know what I'm saying? Move up to 140. Get, that extra 5 pounds of water and minerals all in your body and shit like that. That'll help you perform better. Which I didn't see in the Kambosos fight. He didn't get tired. He didn't fade. It was just the game plan. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not going to doubt that he had trouble making a weight, but I don't want to say that's the reason he lost. He lost because he came with a bad game plan, and Kambosos came with a fantastic game plan. It was a combination of those two things why he lost that fight. And even with all of that, with him coming with a bad game plan, it was still a good fight. You know, still a good fight. He wasn't blown out. He did drop Kambosos. He got dropped himself, obviously, but he did drop Kambosos. It wasn't like a terrible, terrible performance by him. Look, man, I went there. I paid a ticket. I saw the fight. I was not press row. I was a fan that day, and I got my money's worth. It was a fantastic fight, and I would love to see a rematch of that fight. And unfortunately, I don't think we ever get it because Teofimo's moved up to 140, and Kambosos he's a small 135. It looks like he's gonna be there for a while, and by the time he moves up to 140, if he ever does, I think Teofimo is gonna be at 147 by then. So, but yo, Kambosos been talking mad shit on Instagram though, Instagram and Twitter. Talking mad shit to Devin Haney, all those guys. Let me see if I can find that for you guys. Excuse me. Let me see. Bye-bye. All right. Let me see. Hold on. My bad. I'm trying to find the quotes the exact quote. He had a whole big back and forth with Devin Haney. I'm trying to see if I can find that for you guys. If not, then whatever. I'll just read the quote I found already. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to find it. Hold on, let me try a little bit more. All right, whatever. Let me just read the quote I found. Boom. All right, let me screen share for you guys. So this is George Kambosos. Man, George Kambosos is talking shit right now. Hold on. This will be the biggest fight in Australian history. It'll be a stadium fight in Sydney or Melbourne. We're in negotiations with both, and it'll be very exciting. Excuse me. I wouldn't be real to the crowd if I told them I'm coming back for an easy fight. For what for? I'm coming for the big names, and we're already in negotiations with everybody. So basically, him by saying he's in negotiations with everybody means he's trying to start a bidding war. He's trying to get that bag, man. He really, really is. He's trying to get that bag. And then this is a response to Bob Arum, because I don't know what Bob Arum said, but there's a response. Mr. Arum, with all due respect, they're not coming in to watch Haney or Lomachenko. They're coming to watch their emperor return home with all the belts after taking over boxing. These belts are Australia's and Greece's, and they're going to need an army to take them off us. Basically, so I guess that's a response to what I said earlier, how when he was saying, oh, you know, Devin Haney is not known in Australia. Lomachenko was helped sell the fight better. Basically, Kambosos is saying, again, trying to pit these two people to negotiate against each other. He's trying to say, no matter which one of y'all I fight, I'm going to get a big bag anyways. They coming to see me. They coming to see their champion. They coming to see the lineal lightweight champion. The guy who some people consider undisputed. That's who they coming to see. The guy who had one of the biggest upset, probably like in the last 4 or 5 years. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's who they're coming to see. They're not coming to see Lomachenko. They're not coming to see Devin Haney. Those are just motherfuckers that are just lucky to share the ring with me. That's not what he said, but I'm just saying, I'm reading between the lines. Let's be honest. That's what he's trying to say. And I respect it. I respect motherfuckers. He earned the right to talk his shit, man. He came to New York City, where Teofimo was born, where the crowd was all in his favor. I was there. I was there live. And dropped them in the first round when Teofimo was predicting he was going to knock Kambosos out in the first round. Yo, Kambosos gets to talk all his shit after that, bro. After that, and then he goes, gets dropped in the 10th, comes back and cuts Teofimo in the eye and stuff like that. Man, it was a good. I could only imagine the feeling he had when he heard his name announced as the winner. Like that was a great performance by him. But as far as Teofimo, what's next for him? They're talking about either Arnold Barboza at 140 or Jose Cepeda at 140. And I'm like, damn, really? You want to go in that tough in your first fight at 140? You don't want a tune up or something? You don't want to feel me out? Oh, hold on. We got a caller coming in. Hopefully, I was gonna say hopefully it's not a troll, but we'll see. What's going on, brother?
Hey, what's going on, man? Man, I just wanted to get on. I'm driving home from work, but I just wanted to get on and say, keep up with the great content, man. Keep keeping it real. You know what I'm saying? I agree with a lot of stuff that you're saying. You know what I'm saying? Keep up with the great content. The only thing I wanted to say was George Kambosos. I feel like at 135, I feel like he gets beat by probably everybody at 135. Like I think that he will get beat on it if he fights Devin Haney, Loma, Ryan if he wants Ryan, Tank. I just feel like he's gonna get beat next. You know what I'm saying?
First, before I respond to that, what's your name? Where you from?
Oh, this Pound for Pound Boxing Real News, Maryland.
Maryland. All right. You sound like you from New York. That's why I asked.
Nah, yeah, I lived in Brooklyn for a while, but
Oh, all right. That's probably what it is. All right. No, well, why are you so confident Kambosos loses to all those guys when he just beat Tio, who were arguably the best out of all of them?
I feel like Kambosos. I feel like Kambosos will lose to those guys. I feel the reason why is because after the Tio fight, you know what I'm saying? Tio was going through personal issues and personal problems, and plus the what happened?
I'm listening. I just took you
Okay.
off because you mad dark. So
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Okay. What's it called? So I just feel like and then that article on ESPN where what I'm saying after the fight he came out and Tio was in ICU and stuff like that. So I just feel like even with that, Tio still had a very close fight with George Kambosos. So Devin Haney's a very defensively sound guy. You know what I'm saying? He's good. You know, like I agree with you that he's not special, but he is good. You know what I'm saying?
No, yeah, he's not a bad fighter. I never said that. It was just that fucking hating ass dude. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I ain't disrespect Haney. I just said I don't think he's a special fighter. I never knew that was an insult.
Yeah, facts. Yeah, I don't feel like he's a special fighter. Like, I mean, like you said, after when it, when he fought Jorge Linares, he gets rocked and then he starts retreating. You know what I'm saying? He starts
Yeah,
hugging and stuff like
didn't
that,
act
and
like a
he's not
fighter,
like a true
man.
champion. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But I just feel like he'd be just defensively sound. He'd be very cautious, and it'll probably be he's gonna outbox George Kambosos. But George Kambosos does have skills. He does close in well as well.
Yeah, man.
But
The reason why I think he beats Devin Haney, again, it may be because I saw him live and I'm biased to that. You know, I was at his fight with Teofimo. Is that kid is fast, man. He has really fast feet and really fast hands. And it's not just because I saw him live and I've seen plenty of fights live and I watched the whole undercard. So it's not like, my eyes had trouble adjusting. Bro, he would just jump in, land 2, 3, 4, 5 punches, and just jump right out on Teofimo. And I feel like if he could do that to Devin Haney, he doesn't have to worry about Devin Haney's power. I feel like he could have success, and I think he could beat him. Now, do I think he beats Tank and Loma? Like I don't think so, to be honest. But I think he beats Devin.
yeah, what's it called? Time will tell though. I mean, if he gets that fight, we'll definitely see it. It seems to be close, very close to being finalized or whatever. But we still don't know because you know how Devin Haney called him out saying that is he ducking or whatever, and then George Kambosos comes back and says what he said on Twitter. I think that was on Twitter when they were going back and forth, right?
Yeah. I just couldn't find it. That's why I ain't put it up.
Yeah, so it was. I mean, we'll see for sure. But I also heard that the WBO was gonna mandate
Loma.
Lomachenko to actually get the fight with George
Yeah, and
Kambosos.
I'm not mad at that fight. That's a good fight.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it either. I think that's fireworks right there as well. You know, but man, the Matrix is the Matrix. You know what I'm
For
saying?
sure, for sure. But yo, pound for pound boxing, real news. I appreciate you calling in, man. I always see you in the chat, always active. So I really appreciate you. I got another caller on the way. So anything
Yeah,
else you want to say before I let you go?
hey, yeah, man, just keep up with the great content.
Yo,
And
but before I let you go, you a content creator? You make YouTube videos?
yeah.
Oh shit, I haven't checked you out, man. I
Yeah.
just thought you was a boxing fan. I'm gonna check your channel out after I log off,
Sounds good, my brother.
and
Sounds
maybe
good.
maybe we'll do something together.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
All right, bro. All right, peace. Jay, what up, my brother?
Chilling, bro. What's good?
Chilling, man.
Yo, it's been a minute. I've been trying to get into to call in, but I've been busy as hell, bro. Crazy beginning of the year.
Nah, no, I'm gonna try to go live more often. I'm gonna try to go live 2 days a week. I go live every Wednesday. I'm gonna try to do live on Fridays at 12. Only because I got a lot of international people that are subscribed to my channel, like people from England, people from Australia, and they be telling me like they want to be live, but I'm probably live like at 5 in the morning over there. They're like, yo, I'm not trying to be up at that time. So I'm gonna
Yeah,
try.
nah, that definitely makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm trying to go live two times a week, one and at different times. This is this my work schedule. My work schedule is crazy. This is like the best day and time for me right now.
Yeah, nah, I feel you because you were doing it before though when there was crazy fights every week after week, and then all of a sudden, the new year and everything kind of slowed
Yeah.
down. But we know it's gonna pick up. You already see the schedule.
Yeah, once it picks up, you know me, man. I'm gonna be active on this shit because I love interacting with y'all and y'all niggas calling in and people talking in the chat. So I love that. But what's up, brother? What you want to talk about today? You want to talk about the topics? Keith Thurman.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about Keith Thurman because I feel like if he comes back, takes it serious, he could actually be the boogeyman. You know what I'm saying? Um, I don't. I still don't think he beats Terrence Crawford. That dude is just on another level. You know, but with Errol Spence getting a little, he's getting softened up, bro. Between the accident, he's been in a couple of wars already. Uh, what's his name? Damn.
Sean Porter.
Sean Porter and Danny Garcia hit him a little bit. So he's been in a couple of wars, plus the eye. And if he does end up fighting Crawford is gonna give him hell. So I think
No,
go ahead.
No, go.
So I think, Thurman, as he's working his way up, he could definitely get himself in position to fight either Spence or Crawford. But I favor him fighting Spence in terms of having a chance to win. You get what I'm saying? Because the dude's been out for 31 months, man. I don't know what is it with him and his layoffs. It's crazy.
I totally agree with you. I do think that the more winnable fight for him would be Crawford. I mean, excuse me, Spence, because Spence, again, I always pick Spence over Crawford until he had that car accident, and then he had eye surgery, and then I gotta find pictures from him in that press conference with Pacquiao. Motherfucker look weight drained, so it looks like he's having trouble with the weight. Although he did say he has a new fitness trainer and a new nutritionist, so maybe that can help him. But at the same time, I don't know. There's only so much a nutritionist can do for you. So if all these things I'm taking into consideration, this long layoff, for you to come back and fight, Ugas is going to be tough. And then after that, you're going to fight Crawford or Thurman. You're not going to tell me that didn't take something out of his body, especially when he's been through those wars, specifically the one you highlighted in the Sean Porter fight.
Yeah, and Ugas ain't no pushover either, bro. He's a counter puncher.
Nice, great jab. He has a great jab, and you got to remember this guy's coming off eye surgery. If that jab could touch that fucking eye and mess up the eye, he could win by TKO. You never know.
And that's the biggest thing for me because the eye that's your most important asset. If you can't see punches coming, if you can't read a guy's body movement, you're basically done. And not only that, you might be hesitant to even like get in there. And Spencer's a come forward fighter. So if he don't got that, I mean, he's gonna have to come up with something special to continue winning, because if he does get hesitant, if he gets hit and he feels like, damn, this is gonna fuck up my eyesight for good, it's a wrap for his career, bro. Look what happened to that English dude that both his eyes were destroyed, but him and Triple G.
Yeah, no,
Never
you're
been
right.
the same.
What's his when you talk about Billy Joe Saunders? We got his
No.
Canelo.
No, the other guy, the other dude that he's about to fight Amir Khan, that he fought Spence and Triple G.
Kell Brook.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn, yo, what's up with these fucking English fighters? They got weak eyes or some shit.
They got weak everything, bro. Amir Khan got a glass chin. This dude got weak eyes. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. I'm surprised Tyson Fury's winning, but he's Irish, so that might be it.
Yo, bro, but how crazy is it that that both finally we're getting this fight like 5, 6, 7 years too late, but Amir Khan is finally gonna fight Kell Brook. How crazy is that?
That's just ridiculous. I think it's sad. It's on the part of boxing, because like you were saying before, we don't get the fights we want to see, and then when we finally get them, it's like, damn, bro, like it done been marinated. It didn't marinate. It's past marination. It's already getting
salty
fungus.
as fuck. Salty as fuck. You put too much adobo on this shit, man.
Yeah, so many fights, Mayweather and Pacquiao and all these other fights, like it. Roy Jones and Hopkins too. Like, I mean, come on, bro. Like, it's bad for boxing. But again, I think Keith Thurman being in there, being in the mix, being a top welterweight, he still has a name. As long as he wins his comeback fights, and like you were saying, these two fights, well, Mario Barrios and the other guy, that could be two good comebacks. I mean, I just hate the fact that it's a pay-per-view, and Mario Barrios getting a shot as eliminator.
That pay-per-view bullshit, man. I gotta get somebody from PBC on my podcast so I could talk to them. Why is it that they keep continually putting stuff on pay-per-views, and then they want to say like, oh, half these people don't even buy the pay-per-views, they just stream it? It's like, yeah, some shit is streamable, bro. Some shit is not worth buying. I'm not gonna get
plus
mad
who got that
fan.
kind of money? Who got that kind of money to sell out $40, $50 a month on top of your cable bill? And there's other shit to do out here, bro. We're not sitting inside watching pay-per-views every other week.
And on top of that, is like the core of the boxing fan base is poor people or hardworking people, plumbers, Uber drivers, waiters, hostess, like we're the construction workers, we're the working class. These are the people you charging fucking $50, $60, $70 a month. Yo, and the fight with Barrios and Thurman is $75.
That's ridiculous. And it's not even a championship fight, bro.
Not even
it's a 10-rounder.
Not only is it not a championship fight, on the undercard, there's no championship fights either.
That's crazy, bro. See, like, look, the last fight I went to, it was Crawford and Teofimo on the same card at MSG, right? That's when Teofimo got his first belt. Damn, I paid like $120. When I tell you I got my money's worth, bro, that's a fight you pay for whether you go in or it's pay-per-view. And Shakur Stevenson was on the other card. It was beautiful.
See,
we don't get that very often.
And that fight, who did Terrence Crawford fight?
That African dude, he knocked him the fuck out. It's so hard to remember.
The Undisputed?
Name. Nah, that was after this. He was already a welterweight. This is after Amir Khan, actually. In 2019 December.
I'm blanking off the name, but point is, damn, that sounds like a good ass card, man. Like, fuck, we need shit like that, man. Like, bring back like the Don King days when Don King was stacked with yo, bro. There's an undercard with Felix Trinidad, Julio Cesar Chavez, and Mike Tyson as the main event, bro. Yo, that shit is ridiculous.
That's $100 pay-per-view right there, bro. That's $100 pay-per-view right there.
They could charge me $150 for if they giving me Tank, and let's say Tank, Canelo, and I'm trying to think of another name.
Tyson Fury, fuck it.
And Tyson Fury. Give me those three, nigga. You could charge me $150, and I won't say a word. And I'll tell
because you're getting your money's worth.
Yeah. But I'm getting my money's worth. Now you giving me Keith Thurman versus Mario Barrios. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it.
And
I'm
a bunch
going
of
to
no names
avoid
on the undercard for $75. Crazy.
ridiculous.
Yo,
But all right,
that
bro.
shit is bonkers, man.
Yo, any other questions before I let you go?
Nah,
talk
that's
about
it. I mean,
Gary?
everything else you already covered. I mean, the only thing I'm looking forward to is seeing who Canelo's next opponent is, man, because there's a lot of names in the mix, and a lot of them make sense, but him going to cruiserweight is I don't think is the move. I think
I
either
don't like that move to cruiserweight. I don't like that move to cruiserweight. I want to see him take care of 168. Either fight. If it's up to me, he fights David Benavidez next.
100%.
If he fight Andrade, or he moves up, fights better Biev, or my last option in the 168 and below is Charlo. I don't want to see him get rewarded for his ducking. So, but yeah. All right, brother.
Yeah, nah, man. It's all good, bro.
Yo, I appreciate you calling in, my brother. I always enjoy it when you call in, man.
Yeah, I'm always here, man. Have a good one, bro. I'll finish up with you when with the video or whatever.
All
I'm
right,
here.
Cool. No doubt.
Safe.
All right, shout out to Jay, my Brooklyn brother. My bad, Sanchez. I saw you active in the chat. I just couldn't respond. I was on a phone call. Shakur Stevenson versus Oscar Valdez. That fight is not made official. They are currently in negotiations. They're talking about making that fight in April 30th. They're talking about that fight. But what's interesting about April 30th, the date, is that date is also the date that they're talking about making Amanda Serrano versus Katie Taylor. So April 30th is a Saturday. Is that shit what I'm talking about? Everybody wants to do their fights on a Saturday. People need to start doing some of the fights on Fridays. Listen, Shakur Stevenson is from New Jersey. Amanda Serrano is from New York. Both tri-state area have a tri-state area fan base. Now you're gonna have to make a choice as to which fight you want to see. Come on, man! Like it's annoying. It's annoying. What? It's been announced? Nope. It's official. Financial side has been agreed on. It's been announced, brother. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I have not seen that. Let me go. Don't lie to me, bro. Don't lie. Don't troll me. Telling me it's been announced. Hold on. Has it been announced? No, it has not been announced, brother. Once there's an article on ESPN, which is the network that is going to distribute them. Once it's an article saying it's signed, sealed, and delivered, that's when we will for you. Go on Twitter. I ain't no liar. All right. Well, I don't see an article for it. So, I mean, I'll go on Twitter. I'm going to check Jake Donovan, which is, I hope all of y'all following Jake Donovan, one of the best journalists in all of boxing right now. Hopefully y'all follow him, but I'm gonna go on his Twitter because that's somebody I trust. And that's somebody, if he announces it, I'm not going to dispute. Yeah, I don't see nothing on here regarding it being official. It has not been made official, brother. It has not been made official, but there is a Mike Coppinger. All right, I trust Mike Coppinger. So if Mike Coppinger says that it's a signed, sealed, and delivered, because just because you agree on the financials, you may agree on the financials, and somebody bring up a rematch clause and the fight fall apart because of that. So, all right, sources: Shakur Stevenson and Oscar Valdez have now agreed to the terms for the April 20th fight in Las Vegas. Okay, all right, there you go, David Benjamin. I gotta give you your credit. You definitely ain't no liar, and I trust Mike Coppinger. So there you go, Sanchez. You was asking me about it. One of my subscribers. So the fight is. All right, don't get cocky, nigga. Don't get cocky. Don't doubt me. Don't get cocky. I just like to go by articles. So right now it's agreed upon, but it's not signed. So it's not a done deal. It's not a done deal. But we're heading in the right direction. Because again, a lot of these times we're like, Vegas, I ain't agree on Vegas, or it could be like rematch clause. I ain't agree on rematch clause. What about this rehydration clause? Is like, nah. So right now, the financials are agreed upon between Shakur Stevenson and Oscar Valdez, that's the most important part. Hopefully now we can get pen to paper and this fight could be made, because that's a fight that I'm really excited for. Unification fight. And this will be the first time Shakur Stevenson get to be on the big stage, big unification fight. His title at 126 was a vacant title. A lot of people thought it was going to be a blowout with him and Jamal Herring, and it was a blowout. You know what I'm saying? Now this fight, there's going to be people picking on both sides. There's going to be people on both sides. There's going to be people picking Shakur Stevenson, and there's going to be people picking Oscar Valdez. And you're going to get the Oscar Valdez fans arguing. You're going to get the Shakur Stevenson fans arguing. I'm excited for this fight. If that fight gets made, I'm excited for that fight. And the reason why it makes me more excited is, one, Shakur Stevenson was a lot more offensive in his last fight, and Oscar Valdez was a lot more defensive, not in this fight, in the fight against Burchell. So he has boxing ability, but he naturally is a boxer, and Shakur's a brawler, and Shakur Stevenson is naturally a boxer. So you got two guys who are having identity problems joining in the unification fight when they can both bang and they can both box. That's interesting fight for me. But at the same time, if we're being honest, I thought Robson Conceição beat Oscar Valdez in his last fight, if we're being fair. But there was a whole big thing leading up to the fight. Did he test positive? Should he be banned? Should the fight be still going on? So a lot of that was weighing on his mental. But yeah, no, I'm excited for that fight. It's a 50-50 fight. Well, I don't want to say 50-50 because I do think Shakur Stevenson wins comfortably, but I don't discount Oscar Valdez. Oscar Valdez is a good fighter. He has one punch knockout power. Apparently, that's how he knocked out Miguel Burchell, and they did VADA testing for that fight. So people can't say, oh, he was probably juicing during that fight. He did VADA testing, came out clean. In his next fight, whatever, he tested positive, and he was allowed to fight. God knows how that happened. Frentermine, it was banned by VADA, but not by WADA. Is like, I don't know what that goes on. Oh, I think Keith Thurman doesn't want that smoke from Virgil Ortiz. I mean, Virgil Ortiz, that fight, I don't even want to discuss it so much because Virgil Ortiz was a golden boy, fights on DAZN, and Keith Thurman fights on PBC. And Virgil Ortiz doesn't have a belt, so there's not a natural story as to why they're fighting each other. But I wouldn't mind seeing that. That's a brawl, man. Yo, that's a great fight. And to be honest, at this point in his career, Keith Thurman needs to watch out for a young guy like Virgil. He needs to watch out for a young guy like Boots. Maybe even like Conor Ben. Watch out for these guys. These guys are young and hungry, and you got a name, and they know they can build it off you. They have all the leverage as to fighting you. I don't think Keith Thurman is ducking Virgil. I just think he's being smart. I think he's going to fight Mario Barrios in this WBC Eliminator. His next fight after that is going to be a final eliminator with David Avanesian, who's ranked number 2 in the WBC. And then from there, he'll take on whoever has the WBC belt. But I don't think he's ducking. I don't think he's ducking Virgil Ortiz. They dead ass charging people $74 for. Oh, it's 75. I think he meant for Thurman Barrios. Yes, they are. Unfortunately, nah. Thurman KOs Ben badly. Ben got floored 3 times in the same fight. A can that had a negative record. I mean, damn, I ain't even know that. Like, that must have been early in his career then, because I never heard of that. His chin is that bad? I mean, I was really impressed with what he did to Prince Algieri, man. Yo, he fucked up Chris Algieri. And I loved his defensive move. He was rolling with shots. He used a lot of head movement and then scored a sensational knockout. I was very, very, very impressed. Hold on. I'm trying to look up that. So he got dropped twice in the first round by a guy named Cedric Paynaud. I mean, it's the first round. He probably got caught cold. And I don't know who this guy is. This guy a puncher? No, not really a puncher. Yeah, that does look bad. You get knocked down 2 times in the first round by some guy who's not like, significantly. I'm trying to see where else he got dropped. Yeah, no. I mean, he got dropped twice. So you said he got dropped 3 times. But I think Conor Benn is nice, man. I like Conor Benn. Conor Benn, he could fight. Yeah, but Virgil would have been a better fight than Mario Barrios. Yes, because Virgil's ranked number 1 in the WBC. Well, of course. I agree. Listen, you probably just got on. I've been ripping the fucking WBC since I got on here. That's some bullshit. How Keith Thurman coming off a loss in a 31-month layoff and Mario Barrios getting knocked out at 140 by lightweight, then moving up to 147 and getting the WBC Eliminator. That's some bullshit. Now, you're not going to get no argument out of me. That is some absolute fucking bullshit that the WBC is doing. And I don't like it at all. I don't. And I have expressed that multiple times. Again, I'm going to email the WBC. I'm going to DM Mauricio Suleiman, and I'm going to try to have him on the show. As you guys know, listen, I've interviewed an Olympic gold medalist, and I've interviewed the vice president of the Boxing Writers Association. So I'm aiming big. I think I could get Mauricio Suleiman on here, and he needs to explain to me how can he justify this? How can he justify the franchise championship? How can he justify all these things when it's clear that the boxing fans don't like it? But WBC be on some bullshit. Now, I hate the WBA more. Don't get me wrong. I need the WBA out of business. If I could make that happen, I will. WBC, I don't want them out of business, but damn, bro, like, could you at least fucking try not to make it so obvious that you're being so biased towards a fighter or that's ridiculous. Why is Mario Barrios in the WBC Eliminator coming off a loss to a smaller fighter that moves up to a weight division that he's never fought at? How does that make sense? Like, I need Mauricio Suleiman to be on the other side of this camera so I can ask him that. And I'm gonna email him. I'm gonna find out his email. I'm gonna find out his Instagram, his Twitter, and I'm gonna hit him all up. And hopefully I get him. Hopefully I get him next week. Tell Mauricio, get rid of that bullshit franchise belt. I will, trust me. No, the World Boxing Corruption has stated that this isn't a final eliminator because Barrios hasn't put himself into VADA. Wow, that's the reason, because he hasn't put himself into VADA? Damn, man. Damn, that's the reason. Not because he fucking just got knocked out. That shit is crazy. But all right, guys, I'm going to let you guys go unless I get a call as I'm saying my goodbyes. Hold on. This title eliminator might... I'm assuming you meant might benefit Keith Thurman to fight Earl Spence. Again, this won't be a final eliminator. So if he beats Mario Barrios, which I'm predicting, damn, I lost my train. If he beats him, he's gonna have to fight David Avanesian to be the number 1 contender for the WBC belt. But all right, guys, I'm gonna let you guys go. Nobody called in. Appreciate you guys. Hit that like button. I know I haven't even said that this whole time I've been live. Hit the like button even before you go. It helps out with the visibility of the channel. If you want to see my channel grow, that'll let me get more followers and shit like that. But I appreciate you guys and being active on the chat. And yeah, shout out to everybody, and I'll see y'all next week. Oh shit. Mario Barrios on IG Live right now. All right, I guess I'm gonna have to watch that after the show because I'm about to go to the gym. So that's what I do after I go live. I don't know if y'all curious about that. After this, I go to the gym, lift some weights, go to the sauna, do my thing. I'll be working out, trying to get in shape, man. Trying to get in shape, trying to stay healthy. as we all should. And we most of the dudes on here, we all men, man. Yo, I be looking at some dudes in their 30s, man. They be looking crazy out here, man. Yo, just because you already married or you got kids already, that don't mean that we should not take care of our health, man. And I understand that sometimes the reason why you want to look good is because you want to get girls. And now that you got your girl, you don't want to, you really don't care about it because, you know, she's going to love you either way. One, you should want to always look your best for your woman. That's just one thing. And two, man, yo, most of the people on here, most likely either black or Hispanic. Yo, man, we the highest in colon cancer, highest in all the cancers, highest in all the diabetes and bullshit, man. Yo, every now and then, eat healthy. Instead of getting the burger, get a salad every now and then. I'm not saying every time because, you know, we got to have fun. But every now and then, get the salad. Every now and then, instead of getting rice and beans and meat, just eat the meat with a salad. You know what I'm saying? You know, and then go to the gym. Even if you just do 10 minutes on a treadmill, 20 minutes on a treadmill, or you just want to lift a little bit of weights, man, it's important, man. Especially us minorities, man. We be dying at a crazy rate. It's already bad enough. We you know, some of us live in dangerous neighborhoods. It's already bad enough that motherfuckers could be having a gunfight. You could be going to work. Motherfuckers, two Bloods and Crips across the street having a gunfight, and you get caught with a stray bullet. That's bad enough that shit's happening in the hood. Let's now also take care of our body as far as health, man. You know what I'm saying? Eat right. Go to the gym every now and then. You don't got to go every day. Go at least 4 days a week. 4 days a week, and then you get those three. Get Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off. But at least you go on Monday through Thursday. Do something. Do something. Do 5 sets of 20 push-ups at night every day before you go to bed. I know I'm going off topic and shit. I know it's a boxing podcast, but you know, it's important. I just want to talk about how being healthy is important. So I try to, since I'm letting y'all know I go to the gym after the live, that's the reason why I do. I like to stay healthy. I got a son on the way. I want to see my son grow old. So I got to be healthy to see my son grow old. And hopefully y'all can do something similar. Hopefully I inspire some of y'all lose some weight, whether it be, I lost 50 pounds, man. Yo, pandemic, they were saying fat people were dying. I went on a keto diet. I lost 50. I was 245. I got down to 195. Then I got too light, so I started lifting weights. So now I'm a bit heavier. But point is, I lost 50 pounds because I got focused. I got on the keto diet. So if y'all do y'all research, if the keto diet works for you, do that. And, you know, again, and when you go to the gym, if you got enough money, hire a personal trainer. If that's too expensive, yo, grab some weights. Just watch what the big dudes are doing. All right, they doing this. Let me do that. Also, most of the times at the gym, people are cool. They're like, hey, man, could you spot me? Hey, man, I don't know how to do this machine. Could you show me how to do it? Do that, man. But point is, we all have to try to give ourselves an effort to look our best and to be our healthiest for our family. Forget us, for our family. But all right, guys, my bad. I feel like I was preaching to y'all. I'll see you guys next week. I'll drop a video tomorrow talking about the Gary Russell fight. And but yeah. All right, guys. Peace.